individual. So Paul is an apostolos with a capital A. I say capital A because there's only 12 people that were designated as apostles. Those are the 12 disciples. In the book of Acts, when they were trying to replace Judas, who had committed suicide, they were looking for someone that could be an apostle. And part of the criteria was they had to be a witness of the ministry of Christ and a witness of his death and resurrection. That's a small crowd of people as it relates to history. So once that generation passed on, there was no one else that could take that role. And so the apostles with a capital A were those that were alive at the time of Christ. But there are apostles with a small a. I'm writing it backwards. That's probably bad, but I'm so dyslexic I couldn't do it the other way. So anyway, there are apostles with a small a. Why do we know this? Because in chapter 17 of the book of John, Jesus prays to the Father and says, Father, as you sent me, sent apostolos. Apostolos. As you sent me as your ambassador, I am now sending these. He's talking to the 12. Apostole in the plural. So he's sending these as you sent me. And he made them ambassadors of the message of reconciliation, 2 Corinthians chapter 5. And now we are now messengers of that message of reconciliation, and because of that, we are called to be ambassadors of that message. Which gets me back to what I was talking about a few moments ago, is that, there's a real tendency, the enemy wants to derail the work that God has planned for you to do. There's no question. He wants to take you out of the game. He wants to take you out through sin. He wants to take you out through distraction. He wants to take you out through discouragement. He wants to take you out in any way he can, through conflict with other people, with your spouse, with your kids, with your finances. He wants to take you out. And one of the ways that Satan can take out Christians is by distracting them with things and with concerns that they don't have power and authority over directly, and move them away from things that they do have power and authority over personally. And Paul says that we are ambassadors of this message of reconciliation. And he says, I've invested you with power. You are my apostole. You are the ones that are being sent out by me, by the power of God, in the name of God, by the Spirit of God, to do what I've called you to do, which is to seek and save the lost, preach the gospel, and make disciples. This is what we can do. So, in your concern about what's happening in the areas that you have no power and no authority, don't let that consume and overtake your life and derail you from the things that you do have power and authority to participate in by Almighty God, because He's made you ambassadors of this wonderful reconciliation of Jesus Christ.